Hold on, I was muted. Peace and blessings. I definitely want to welcome you all back to another great episode. You know, my name is Celebrity. I said it, and this is the show. And I'm very happy to always be able to bring you all the greatest interviews for people in entertainment who's been making history, all the people making a difference in building our communities and just so really building in the entertainment industry for many years. I'm talking about for over 20 years, 25 years been in this industry along with radio is where she started. And I like to also welcome radio personality. She's actually CEO of Lisa E Entertainment. She's a super producer right out of here of Chicago. She's a manager for the talented singer Sean White, and she also writes for a magazine called Exclusive Magazine. I just like to welcome CEO and a friend of mine, also Lisa E, to the show. Peace, Queen, and welcome to the show. So
Hey, how
Hey,
are you? And
hey,
I'm only 25, so I mean, well, 28, so I started when I was 3, so
I know, right? Well, you look nice, and definitely welcome
I
to the
got the
show.
librarian look today. I was like, when you're at home working on stuff and you're doing things, I'm like, I do not feel like we wear sweats and I'm like, I don't feel like putting my eyeballs in, so
Right.
just go with
Now, I
the sexy
understand.
librarian look.
Hey, it's good seeing you. How's the day treating you today so far?
Everything is good, except with this rain. It's a little rainy and windy, but it's okay. And especially I have some things going on this weekend, so I went to go get my hair done. I was like, okay, I might as well look at least decent for the interview because with the pandemic and everything, I've been kind of looking like a chia head. The chias. My hair starts kind of growing, so I was like, let me get it done. And then of course it starts raining, so I had my coat on with my hat. Like over it, so it's loose. I had two plastic bags, and just in case as a backup, and an umbrella that I was holding on because it was so windy. I was afraid it was going to fly backwards. So I was like, my hair will be protected. I don't care about the rest of me as long as my hair is protected. So, other than that, though, it's a great day today.
I know, right? See, I missed one title. I forgot to say you were a comedian too. For people that don't know
Just
you,
it's fun. I don't know, I just it's that's one of the things everybody's like, how do you come up with these one liners and things on the air? But I don't even know. But it's funny because if somebody people have told me I should do stand up, but if I had to go on a stage and prepare, I wouldn't be able to do it. I would just be people would throw like eggs and potatoes at me and stuff. I wouldn't be able to do that. But just like off the improv, I could just come up with funny things, just being on air and everything. So I can do that. So I give a lot of props to all the comedians because I would never be able to do that. So
I think you'd be able to hang.
I like now when I host it, I love emceeing. When I MC, I use my humor for emceeing, and just out of nowhere, I'll come up with some fun jokes and stuff to play, with the audience. But just coming up with that. But yeah, but if I had to do it, it's not me. I like to just do a kind of spur of the moment thing. But the comedians, they work hard for what they do. So
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been definitely working hard on everything. And but before we talk about that, Lisa, I like to open the show, and
oh
I'll
wait,
just
you're
talk.
cutting out a little bit. I don't know why your volume's coming in really low. Say that one more time.
No, I'm sorry. I was saying that I like to just start at the beginning because you've been working really hard and doing a lot yourself for many years, and so I like to start from the beginning. Am I still breaking up?
A little bit. You're just coming in super, super low. See, for me, even when I adjust my volume, I'm loud anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't even need a microphone. Half the time, I'm loud anyway.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay. No, I apologize for that. No, I was saying that you've been working extremely hard yourself over the years, and here on the show, I always like to start at the beginning of how people got started. And I'll ask you the first question: is, where are you originally from? Town.
You said what town? I grew up in the south suburbs. Ingalls Hospital. Hello, Ingalls Hospital. I grew up in the south suburbs, Country Club Hills. Went to Hillcrest High School. Then I ended up going away to University of Iowa, and I ended up coming back home, and I transferred to Columbia. I loved Iowa, but I loved Columbia's where I got like pretty much everything. That's what made me want to go into radio.
Okay. Well, hold on. Before you got all the way to college,
Okay.
I want to know,
So when I
what,
was
what,
5, I had no.
I know
Okay.
that's
So
what I'm
okay.
talking about. So what was really the influence, going back to the household of, growing up in the South suburbs, like you say here in Chicagoland area.
Well,
Um,
one thing I will say, and I thank my parents for where I grew up. There's so many problems now, of course, between um, racism and just people not treating each other as humans. That's the race I look at, and I see so many, people now. People are going after Asian people. It's like, come on, where I grew up, it was a huge melting pot in grade school and high school, and I was very fortunate enough to grow up with so many different backgrounds, cultures, religions, races, origins. We all grew up together. So we learned about each other's traditions. I got to learn, one of my friends, we learned about she was from India. We learned about their traditions out there. Another friend was from China. We learned about that. Another person was Baptist, Black Baptist. We learned going to church. My friends learned what it was like for me to have a bat mitzvah being Jewish. So we all grew up, and it was so fascinating. Instead of being afraid, and I think when people are afraid of each other, that's what makes them hate, because they just learn that we put a bunch of kids together. We just want to play with the Barbies, the girls do, and the boys want to play with their little car. They don't look at like, well, okay, your skin tone, your eyes are different, slanted or not slanted. It's not like that. So where I grew up, I was just so fortunate that we grew up in, we were all friends. We were all friends. People could just come in my house, called my mom, "Hey mom, how are you?" And I loved it. So I'm very thankful for that piece, at least. And I was always social growing up. I was like a little game show host growing up, and I used to do all kinds of voices, character voices. So I used to entertain everybody doing voices. And I wanted to be on Broadway at first. I really thought I was Annie, little orphan Annie. I thought I was Annie, not the orphan part, that just Annie. And so I used to entertain everybody. I used to entertain the kids, and I said I wanted to be a game show host, and we used to play games in at Chateau School. We were the school that was like the newest school in the district. So instead of having little classrooms, they were called pods. And there was like all the classrooms in one pod for like fourth and fifth graders. And so we had tables that we would sit at. So when we would get done, we were the smart kids. We would get done with our work, and I would play games, and I would go and bring like now and laters and stuff. And we'd play games, and I would give out prizes to the winners. So they always voted me the president of the table because I always had candy for everyone. So, you
That's
know.
nice. Did you have any brothers and sisters that you were entertaining as well?
Yeah, well, we won't say they're entertained. Family's different. Family looks at you like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I have a sister and two brothers. They they're, of course your family's proud of you, but they just kind of look at it like, okay, that's just Lisa, acting crazy, whatever. So
Right.
but I used to do, I mean, everything. I did my Woody Woodpecker laugh. I used to do voiceovers for in high school. I called in for ditch day. I don't know how they didn't catch it. I called in for like at least 5 or 6 different people for ditch day. I want
Well,
to say I was a mother, I was a father, I was white, I think I was Hispanic, black. I called in for like maybe 6 different people for ditch day. And I just changed my voice up, and it was hilarious. They're like, "Lisa, call in for me, be my parent or whatever." So I called in and left messages as people's parents, and so
did
we
you
got
charge
away with
them?
it.
Did you charge them?
No, we were just in high school, and I was just having fun. I was we didn't think about it like that. I would just entertain people because I used to watch different shows, especially like Broadway. I love musicals, and I would just try and listen to voices and try and sing like them. And even different entertainers, if I practice on some of them, when I could hit a note in somebody else's voice, but if I tried it in my own, I couldn't hit it. So it was pretty funny.
Right. No, no, I love all of that. You know what I mean? It sounds like you had a really fun childhood when it comes to, becoming the personality that you have really owned to become the famous personality on the radio that you have become. So I heard you mention Hillcrest. I went to Rich South, you know what I mean?
Oh, we used to beat you guys. Sorry, but okay.
I know, right? Class of '98. Proud of it, you know what I'm talking
Okay, well, you're a little after me, but okay.
about. Right. So yeah. So Columbia College. We also, I also attended Columbia College in Chicago. So shout out to everybody. I met over the years. So tell me about your experience there.
Well, so I was kind of upset because so I was at Iowa. So going back, I was the top, I was in the top 10% of my class and I
Okay.
graduated with honors. So I get away to Iowa and all my friends went to Illinois schools. And back then, ladies and gentlemen, so the newer age, we didn't have internet back then when I first started college, and calling home was a toll call. So I couldn't really talk to people. I talked to my family, but not every day because it was a toll call. And so anyway, my grades I got stuck during the last orientation. I got stuck in some really tough classes for a freshman, like living religions of the East, but it took care of a few different, how you have to take care of certain what is it, like the categories that you have to take care of to make, to get your hours and stuff. And so
Right.
some of them would take care of two different ones, but it was with religion majors, like graduate religion majors and things. So I didn't do that great. So I ended up coming back from Iowa for one semester to try and just get my grades back to where they have to be. Went to South Suburban. It used to be what is South Suburban, used to be Thornton Community College, but it's South Suburban. And I went there just for a semester. But during the semester, they went on strike. So when I
Mm,
went there, they went on strike and it overlapped in Iowa's second semester. So if I would have gone back to Iowa the second semester, I would have lost all my credits. So it
oh,
was
that's
tough.
cool.
But then one of my cousins convinced me. She's like, Lisa, you want to do entertainment stuff. Why don't you go? And she talked me into going to Columbia. Went there, best choice I ever made. I missed Iowa so much. I loved Iowa, but Columbia, yeah, Columbia didn't have the jocks. I love the jocks, but they didn't have any athletes at Columbia. But I was doing theater, and theater just it was like living in a live soap opera with some of the classes I was taking. I just wasn't trying to do Shakespeare and stuff. And I decided, I was like, let me try radio or TV. Took radio. Two of my first teachers, Roz Varon, who Roz Varon was she was doing traffic at WFYR, which was 103.5, which is KISS now. And Roz was one of our teachers. And then Harold Rush, who was the producer of Doug Banks and Company. They were my first two radio teachers. And Harold took us on a field trip to the morning show. When I saw Doug Banks, I mean, I was a huge fan of Doug Banks. When I went there, I was like, this is what I want to do. And then Roz Varon said, you know what, guys, I think I'm trying to go to TV. We helped her put this really cool video together for an audition tape because she said Channel 7 was going to start doing traffic live on TV. And we helped her do this video. Well, years later, Roz Vera is the number one traffic person still at ABC. So,
Right.
so I learned from some wonderful people. My instructors, who are now friends, and they call me their colleague, which is so great to hear. They just, amazing. I started doing radio and I fell in love with it. I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, that's really, really impressive. And then to have a teacher, a mentor early on, to learn from the legend, the late great Banks. Can you tell me, can you tell me a whole story of you and Doug Banks, maybe on the air or maybe behind the camera?
You
How
said
did
so
you
working
learn?
at GCI. Wait, you're kind of breaking up a little bit. You said working with Doug over at GCI.
Yes, ma'am.
So, well, I started interning. So, my senior year, a lot of my friends were working at WCRX at Columbia, which I got jealous because they were all on the air. They were all like, Lisa, you just got an internship at WGCI, which was one of the top three stations in the country. And it was funny because Marv Dyson, who was the president and general manager, he came and spoke at our school. And I was like, this is a cool dude. Like, I could work for this guy. And so I went and I did my internship. And one thing that people don't understand is when you're an intern, I understand times change, but you still have to put the work in. A lot of people just want to take it easy and they're like, well, I'm doing this and this. You have to crawl before you can walk. And I put my time in. I worked for free for a whole year, only got credit for one semester, but I even paid my way to take the train during, the holiday season. And I got hired. As soon as I graduated, I got hired. I didn't even have to do like a resume, and I got hired. And I started on 1390 when I was interning. I would start working with Cliff Kelly, who I love Cliff. Cliff was at WVON forever as well. and Cliff was doing afternoons. It was all talk. And then after I worked with Cliff, I started working with Sybil Wilkes, who everybody knows is part of, Tom Joyner's show. And I
Right.
was doing, Sybil was doing a show overnight, and a talk show. So I learned how to get fun guests. I started learning because we had the AP Newswire. We didn't have the internet yet to do all of that stuff. So
Okay.
then somehow I kind of got in. Then they turned to Dusty Radio 1390, which was the Dusty. So I was working and I started getting to know everybody from the FM, side. I was working overnights and I got to know Irene Mojica. And then I would stay in the morning. And I mean, like Doug and Bonnie, I just love them to death. And so Bonnie DeShong, actually, they kind of took me under their wing a little bit. And Bonnie actually trusted me doing, we had like an old like recorder with a microphone, and Bonnie let me go and when Phoenix Suns were playing the Bulls for like the finals and stuff, she let me take in. I would go to the hotel and I would do interviews with some of the people. And so
Right.
Bonnie trusted me. And so Bonnie and Doug were like my mentors, and so I kind of got in really good with Banks and Company. And then I started doing backup producing for Tom Joyner. And that's where I was like, I'm either going to make it or break it in this business, because I was terrified. I was like, this is Tom Joyner. Marv Dyson's
Right.
like, I think you should work with Tom, and he put me on first. This was when Tom was just flying back and forth from Dallas to Chicago. And I was backup producer, and everything was old school. Tom would come in 3 days a week. And then on the way to the limo, he would be on his way to the limo to go to the airport, and he would record his voice for the last hour, and it was on these old reel to reels. So when he wanted everything played, he had everything written down how to do it. So I had to run the board for the last hour, the control board. So everything people hear that goes out, I had to engineer the whole last hour. I was like, oh. And then all of a sudden, if you goof it up by a second or two, you see the hotline going off and Tom's calling from the limo on his way to the airport. I was like, oh Lord, this is gonna make or break me. But it
That
was
sounds
cool.
tedious.
It was cool, yeah. And then I started working with Doug. Doug moved to afternoons when Tom started going syndicated, and just like from there on, it was just like I can't even describe how much fun it was working with Doug, because Doug was like always one of my favorite. I mean, and I love radio personalities. I used to listen. Even my mom used to listen back in the day to Wally Phillips, if people know who that is. He was a big radio person, but I just love to listen to different personalities, and Doug was probably my favorite, my absolute favorite. So just working with him and going to work every day and seeing how much fun you can have, and looking forward to going to it every day, and knowing you're helping change people's lives, and you're their friend, and people that people come to you for advice, and to help you with everything. So that was just awesome.
That is an incredible experience, you know what I mean? And once in a lifetime, like very rare, had that type of, friendship with Doug Banks. Um, and just all the experiences you've spoken about so far. I can't wait to ask you a lot more, but just say this. I definitely want to thank everybody that's tuned in right now and this interview, because whether you're watching from my YouTube, or my Facebook, or with the TV, shout out to UrbanGrindTVAllDay.com. And just share this video, whatever you do. We're tuned in live with the CEO of Lisa E Entertainment. And you already know this celebrity interviewer. I said it, and this is the show. So, Lisa, if I could ask you, I know that you've done so many things. Not only have you done radio, but you got into hosting events as well, golf events and things of that nature. Can you talk about, how that?
Yeah, well, from doing radio, I started emceeing and hosting, and I kind of branched off. I mean, I still love radio. I've worked with everybody that I've worked with, that I've produced for. I absolutely love them all. I made some of the best friends of my life from being in radio, and their family. And so I love talking. I love being the center of attention. So I've started doing weekly parties. God, from me and Rick Party used to do parties together, me and the Diz, Mike Love and the Diz. God, we just I started doing all kinds of parties. And so then I started working with the celebrities, and I started doing a lot of their charity events, especially the golf. I kind of turned into this kind of golf I don't know, even know what you call it. Like I'm like the hookup, and it's they, which is so funny because I don't even like golf, but it makes a lot of money for people, for the for whatever foundation, and people love it. So I've been doing these golf events for, God, it's been at least 15 years now that I'm doing the golf events and other charity events. And I love those the most because people, we have fun. I start doing PR and media relations, and like doing openings, listening parties. Like, matter of fact, this Friday and Saturday, shameless plug, this Friday and Saturday, Sam Silk, who everybody knows, Sam's a top radio personality. I produced for Sam in Chicago, and Sam is like the number one man in Cleveland. He has about, I think, is it five now? I should know this. It's five restaurants in Cleveland, and he just opened up one in Chicago, Sam Silk's Chicken and Fish on 25th and Wabash. So he literally just opened, his grand opening is all weekend. And so I'm kind of handling that with the celebrities and the media and everything for this weekend. And so, but it's open for business. If you guys, just, you guys can order and pick up and delivery. But it's Sam's misses Chicago. So he's back now and, doing his restaurants. And so I do a lot of that. I put a lot of events together, which I love doing that as well. But I love still emceeing shows, concerts. Love being bringing people. I do comedy shows. I've done the male dancers. I used to do that weekly, at the male dancers, and I would get on, and it's just fun to kind of know your audience and work and have fun and play with the audience, and know that everybody is in your hands, and I love it. I love to make my audience happy. You study your audience, and you just work with the audience, and you want a win-win situation for everybody. So
Okay, so it looks like you have it all covered from entertainment, sports, adult entertainment, and everything. You know what I
you
mean?
said adult entertain, and the funny, yeah, I do my little couple hours and I leave. Yes, I definitely like to watch men dance, but it's like they're like all friends too. I haven't done those in a couple years for those shows, but but yeah, I do a lot of, I got a lot of concerts coming up. So I love doing that. I love to be the MC. Because I know I have a good sense of humor, and I just like to have fun, and let the audience, you want the audience to just break away and just enjoy whatever they're there to do. And whether it's 2 seconds that you bring somebody up on stage, or you have to push the time away and have fun and joke around and make people laugh. That's what it's about, just having fun.
That's right. The legendary Freeway. When I just interviewed him, he said the same thing. He said if he's not having fun, he don't want to be a part of it. He don't want to do it.
Exactly. And you
So
can have a tough audience. Sometimes people look at you, they're like, "Uh-oh, what are we expecting?" And then, I cater to stuff because it's funny, it just depends on what group. I've done, stepper sets for people over 60. I've done, little hip hop parties for people in their early 20s. It just depends. You just connect with your audience, and, you just kind of make yourself as one of them, relate to whatever they're doing. So, as long as you're flexible. But radio people, we're all flexible. We have the gift to gab, so we know how to control it and fix it to wherever we're at. So
right now, I know you said small parties, but you don't do anything small, Lisa. You
well,
do
no,
all
oh,
these
I'm saying,
things.
yeah, I mean, well, so like events, like I could never be an event planner for a wedding, or I'm not the event planner for the golf outing. I would handle more media relations, public relations, booking the celebrities, handling all that. But I wouldn't call myself like an event planner, because some of those bigger events, like the golf tournaments, we have to get like an event planner that's over all of that to do that. But if it's a listening party or a grand opening, I can usually do everything myself. But when it's something big like that, that's very detailed, like a wedding, things like that, that stays with the people that are big in that profession. So
Right. Okay. Understood. So also I like to just name some of the famous radio people. I know you named some of them, but I
hmm
just want to name a few more. Um, you worked with Steve Harvey. You know,
yep,
you
we
worked
actually
with.
taught Steve how to do radio. It was pretty funny when Steve first started filling in. He was filling in afternoons, and Frankie J, who was also, people remember Frankie was on GCI. Frankie and Ramonski loved it. the rap down side A and side B. So Frankie was really popular at GCI, and then he had the show Kicking It, him and Disco Dave, and it was fun. And so Frankie was like the running the board, and I was producing. And Steve would just come in, and we would have to tell him, read these liners. This is what you do, and then he would play something, and I'll never forget. He's like, I don't want to play Cisco. I want to play Anita Baker. That's just how Steve is. And then now you see Steve is like a big, I'm not saying I did it all. We just kind of, showed him the ropes on reading liners and proper, structure of things. So, and then, he started doing mornings at GCI, and then moved on, and now he's syndicated.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
That
yeah.
that experience and to be one of his assistants and everything of that nature. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And everybody's
So
got
you,
their personality. That's one thing one thing I work with is I study who I'm working with, because some people have weirdnesses, not weirdnesses, but something unique about them. Unique is a better word. Some people have like rituals that they do, and I study who I work with. And like some people just, want it a certain way during the break, or they don't want people, like Tom Joyner never wanted anyone in the studio when he was on the air. This was back in the day. I don't know if things changed, when he went syndicated, but back then he didn't want anyone. He didn't want the people coming with the traffic logs, like stay out during my show, put it in the hallway. So, everybody's got their things that they do, and you just kind of study and you kind of work with everybody, and you just want to I always tell people, you make each show like it's your last show. So then every time in your mind, it's better and better.
I like that way of thinking, that mindset. What I mean, always pushing yourself,
Yep.
which is always a great thing. So I want to go back to the moment. I've been really anxious to talk about this. This is actually the moment where I had the pleasure to finally meet you in person, and what I mean. This was at Cliff Leviston's event where it was
That was the
11.
first time. That's right. We talked, I think, on the phone, and then
Yeah,
or we talked, I think, yeah, and then yeah, that's right. That was during
yes,
the All-Star weekend last year. Yep.
yeah. That was, man, what an experience that was. To be on stage, and let me say it again. It was a great pleasure for me to share the stage with you and be able to
My
honor
girl, Lady Red.
Cliff Legacy. Yeah, shout out to Lady Red, radio personality.
Yeah,
Was she on
she's
Good
got a
Good
great story
TV
too.
Network?
Definitely need to interview her, from her crunk karaoke to being, midday host, and she was on a morning show and midday, so she's doing really well for herself.
Okay, absolutely. So, can you tell us a little bit about that moment of being able to honor your friend Cliff Legacy, representing the famous Child British magazine? Shout out to Bridget Wiley, publisher for the listeners.
Yes, and she's awesome. And I think it was great because, I was she had asked me about a few people to cover, and so Cliff didn't really know anything about it because it was, kind of a surprise for him. And so for me to be able to get up on there, because I wasn't the host for the actual party, but for me to get up and actually be the one to get on and present it to Cliff, and and surprise him. And Cliff Livingston, I mean, just one of the nicest guys in the world. Everybody knows Cliff, of course, from the Bulls, and then from the NBA. And he and then Cliff Livingston's, when he had the Riviera nightclub, people, we did parties there every single week at the Riv. And and Cliff is just, Cliff comes to a lot of my Cliff is, so I have my little list of my celebrities, and it has nothing to do with who's the more popular, who's this and this. But for me, because if you're a celebrity, you're a celebrity. I don't judge, everybody, not everybody at every event. Some people may like basketball. Another foundation, they may only know baseball, or they may only know artists. But, Cliff is one of those guys that Cliff lives the farthest from everybody. And Cliff is always the first one there. He's always on time. He always has a pleasant demeanor, and just super nice. He just a great guy. And so he, I always pick him. He's always at one of my top lists for the celebrity events, especially in other cities, because he's so laid back. You got a few people, I'm not going to name any names or anything. They're my friends, but there's some people that just are a little too demanding. It's like, guys, it's a charity event. We're helping to give, and you're demanding a little too much. And come on, you're a human, you put,
Right.
you can't walk on water. So like, check it down a little bit, but So, but I make jokes with some of them, like, really, guys, you're not all that, but they are. But I give respect, but I don't like people thinking they're better just because they throw a ball in a hoop or kick something. I just I give them much respect though, but I'm very protective over the people too. So, but yeah, that was great with Cliff. Great that he got to get that award. He totally deserved it. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And before I get into these pictures, because I have a lot of great pictures of you and
oh no,
some really great celebrities. You know what I mean?
oh Lord,
I know, right? First, Lisa, I want to say a shout out because I just picked up two new sponsors for I said very grateful. So my first sponsor I want to shout out today, Miss Dolores Green, and you can find her at um hairbossbiz.com, which is also, and she sends her peace and prosperity, and that's Dolores Green. And you can also
awesome.
launch her brand, and she's working with AC Green actually. So
AC Grant, I never heard of him.
no, I'm sorry, AC Green.
I'm joking. I produced for AC for a couple years. So, matter of fact, I just reached out to AC. So, yeah, that's awesome. I book a lot of guests for AC. So,
Yeah, I didn't know if I was breaking up.
oh no no.
Yeah, and then also I want to also shout out Aesthetics um clothing. You know, she's in California, so
Mm.
she has a boutique. So I, definitely highly recommend, women and everyone go and check out her boutique, located in Stockton, California.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
so you can find, and you'll be able to find more about both of these women more on my page in the future and on this show.
Congrats. That's awesome. Congrats on that.
Thank
And
you.
big ups to the sponsors. Yeah, I'm sure, ordering stuff, especially I love seeing, women, especially, and love seeing all these women that are just, owning and doing things. And, I love when we all support all the women just supporting each other. So I'm really glad. So,
Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. So this was one of my favorite movies that this gentleman played in. I
yeah,
used, I used to like what was the it wasn't the golf movie. Um
it was, Adam Sandler.
oh,
Oh
right.
my God, why can't I think of the name of it?
I know
Now see, the producer in me wants to just,
his name was Shooter McGavin.
yeah, Shooter McGavin,
That
Christopher,
was his title.
what is Christopher's last name? Christopher McDonald. But yeah, that was in, I did a celebrity golf tournament in Pennsylvania. Like, it was like about maybe an hour from Philly. And yeah, Shooter McGowan. Oh, that was from oh my
I
God.
can't think of
I've
that
seen
movie.
that
That's
movie
one of my favorite
8,000
movies too.
times.
I
Not
love
Happy.
the
That
movie.
wasn't the Happy Gilmore, right?
Happy Gilmore.
Is it Happy Gilmore? There's
Yeah, that's
two of
Happy
them. There's a
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore and the other one. Oh my God, I've seen both of them like 8 million times.
That's right. Yeah, but
Okay,
I
yeah.
love that movie. It was hilarious. I bet you all was cracking up together because you're funny. He's
Oh
funny.
yeah, and people were bidding on him. He's a really nice guy. Really, really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
he
but
was really cool, and everybody wanted to be around him just because of the whole, from the movie, just everybody's like, shoot, like they weren't even calling him by his real name. It's like, and he was
right,
cool because he's been in so many other movies and everything, and he's like, yeah, everybody knows me as that. So, but he's super cool. So,
definitely. Tell me about this experience, Lisa.
oh, oh, Nelly.
Mm,
Well, that
let's go.
particular picture was at, it was one of the liquor parties that he was sponsoring. I forgot which one, but it was one of the parties, and he came in town and did like a little quick show. But Nelly, I have a few different ones with Nelly, and I also did some stuff, with his aunt when we did some bone marrow drives when I was at Power
Oh,
92
that's
doing
awesome.
mornings. What his sister that passed away, we were doing different bone marrow drives. It was named after his sister, and they wanted to do one in Chicago, and I worked really closely with his aunt, and got we did a Chicago one, a bone marrow drive, and then his sister actually, excuse me, got a little too sick to come out, so she wasn't able to make it to the one in Chicago, and then she actually ended up passing away. So,
Oh,
um,
sorry to
but
hear
it was cool. Nelly's a really good guy, and it's so funny with Nelly. Nelly would always be late when I would try and get interviews with Nelly. He might be late calling in, but this one time, I was producing for Trey the Chocolate Jock at Power 92, and we set up a charity, or it was a celebrity baseball game. So it was Nelly and some of the Saint Lunatics and all of his people. They had their little outfits, everything, their uniforms. So then we had Trey the Chocolate Jock. We had different. I had oh God, who do we have? Some football play. We had some NFL players, some NBA guys. They all came out and they played, and Nelly's team literally whooped the other team. And so we said Nelly was going to call in that Monday morning. Man, I didn't even have to give them a wake up call. He called in to brag and boast on the air about it. It was like I'm like, we didn't even need to give them a reminder. He called in right at the beginning of the show to rub it in and throw, that they beat us. So, but it was fun. We had a good time with that. So,
That is funny. That is funny. Um, Now, before I show, I don't have a picture for this. It's something that I was reading about, you and the chocolate jock. You all showed up to Chris Webber's charity game. Is that correct? Can you
yeah.
tell us
So,
a little bit about
oh, now
what
Chris
happened?
Webber, one of my favorite people, and Chris Webber still has the most beautiful smile, past, present, and future NBA. Chris, number one smile in the NBA ever. Anyway, that's other stuff. But so Chris was doing is called Bada Bling, and it was he did a celebrity golf tournament and a poker tournament in Vegas, and so I helped with it for a couple years. And then I actually played in because Chris is like, well, Lisa, you can. The Was it the first year we were there? It was Miss California. She was like the runner up for I think it was Miss America or Miss Universe, one of those, and she was like the first runner up, and she was out there and she had no clue how to do Texas Hold'em. So we had gotten in the same car together. They had the car pick us up from the airport. So I'm sitting here teaching her, like trying to give her ins and outs, how to play poker and all of this other stuff. So it ends up being that I end up playing because Chris is like, no, 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 Lisa, you can play. You're not just helping, but you got fans. So he let me play, and it was all these big wigs, like, I mean, I'm talking about big poker players. And she didn't know what she was doing. So she ended up winning at our table because she didn't know what
Yeah,
she was doing. So people that play Texas Hold'em, like, when you first put your money, like she didn't really know how to bid. She won, like, we had so much money at the table, the chips and everything. They put her at the next table for the finals, and we had like Maurice Green, the Olympic gold winning Olympian. I mean, we had huge Pete Moses Malone. It was some of everybody. Gladys Knight performed.
that's
Who else
incredible.
did we? It was just some of everybody at the whole weekend. And so when I saw all the money she had at the last table, I'm whispering to her, I'm like, they don't even have enough amongst them. I'm like, every time you play, just fold. Just put your money in and fold. I was whispering to her. She listened to what I say. Do you know that she won? She beat everybody. It was like 40 or 50 people in the tournament. This girl who had never played poker won. She won a trip for her and three friends anywhere in the world on a private jet. It was like a private plane. Yeah, private plane. It was like the trip was like a few $100,000. And then the second place was his and her Rolex watches. And I was
Mm.
like, and this girl won, and everybody was like, wow, but it was,
Mm.
and I'm like, wait, I helped you
So,
do it. Could I be
right,
one of the friends? Like,
that,
yeah, you
that
could bring
that's
two
what I'm
others.
saying.
I'll make friends, right? But I was
Hold
happy,
on. So wait a minute. You didn't get one of those Rolexes. You didn't
No,
go to
I didn't.
trip
I
with
didn't
her.
place at all. She won, right? That was the second place
No,
winner,
but you
and it
you was
was.
coaching her though, right?
Yeah, and she just happened to win. She was one of the celebrities, and it didn't matter whether you were a celebrity or like a sponsor, whoever played. If the celebrities got to play, and then the people that paid, to be in the tournament. So, and she won everything. But yeah, but Chris Webber, we had one year when Trey went. Trey came out, and him and his significant other at the time, she got to meet Idris Elba. So Idris was there, and we had, I mean, it was some of everybody. I was singing. Somebody was playing the baby grand piano. It was oh my god, he played for the Bulls. He looks like Ashton Kutcher. Why can't I am my brain must be
Judge
on.
Bushler, Judge
Huh?
Bushler, Judge
No.
Bushler.
He's and he played too for, was it Philly, I think. Oh my god, I have to look him up because I have his email and everything. But anyway, he was playing the piano. He was a rookie at the time, and he didn't come to the Bulls yet, but he was playing the piano, and I started singing something, and it was like Unforgettable or something, like a duet kind of thing. And all of a sudden I hear somebody sing with me. I look up, it's Moses Malone
What?
singing with me. And I didn't have, like, our phones then didn't have like the video capabilities, because that was
Right.
about, that had to be about 2000 and like 7 or 8 or something. And we didn't have really, like, the video stuff on there. But man, it was cool. I'm like, Moses Malone and I are singing a duet together. So it was pretty cool. It's like, how many
Yeah.
people can really say that? I just sang with Moses Malone, so we had fun. That was, yeah. And they raised a lot of money. I love, Chris Webber's stuff, and Too Short performed. It was some of everybody. I mean, it was like the most different people out there. Like, it was some of everybody out there. But yeah, that was cool.
That is awesome, Lisa. And congratulations to you, you know what I mean, for having all and creating all of these great memories, you know what I mean? And you have such a great memory with this guy right here too.
Oh, 50, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Yes, he's one of my favorite people ever. I don't know what it is. I just, something about him.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just adore him, everything he does. And he really is nice. People look at him sometimes and have their views and opinions, but he really is a nice guy with a really good sense of humor. He actually did, I got invited, he did a private screening when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, and they
Yeah.
flew people, they had radio people coming to Vegas. Man, it was probably the nicest one. They had us do a private screening, then they had like after parties, and then after the after parties they did it like at a strip show, like the stripper place. And it was just, it was so, we had so much fun. They put us up in these really nice rooms um at the hotel, and I mean, just took care of us. We had like this big huge room that was like a um like your, not cozy, it was like just a special room set up for everybody, just if we wanted to go at any time. And they had food and drinks at all times. Like, it was like a courtesy room. It was so cool. We just had so much fun. But yeah, I love 50. I'm a huge fan, and just, I have so many pictures of him, and every time he would come to the radio station, the other pictures I would blow him up and he would sign them for me. So I had like a 50 shrine in my office at Power. So, but
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
he's just a really good guy. He's really, and he's super talented and very intelligent, with everything he's doing with all his TV shows and producing. He's really very smart business wise.
Yeah, I agree. Over the years, I've never met him personally, but over the
He's
years,
a doll. I get so excited. I love him. He's such a doll.
yeah, I've definitely enjoyed, some of his films and movies and stuff, and definitely a lot of his music and albums. Get Rich or Die Trying, that's definitely a classic.
Yeah, and it was kind of loosely based on his
Yeah,
life
it's
as
a
well
movie.
too. And it was like, it was funny because, see, I'm such a 50 like, I read the book first, which was more of his tale, like his life. And it was more detailed, but I knew like the story of how he grew up, and like with his, with his mom, and it was kind of like, when you see some parts of the movie at the beginning, they were sitting like a couple rows in front. I actually got really emotional because I was trying to picture in his head, like, wow, he never had like a real birthday party and this and this. I mean, yeah, he's 50 now, but back then when he was just little Curtis, I'm thinking of like, wow, like he, I'm glad though that things changed around for him. But it was, yeah, that experience was great. They took care of us. They gave us all kinds of fun gifts and stuff out there. They really took care of us out there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me about these gentlemen right here.
Oh wow, those are my guys that used to play for the Bears. And well, so Jason McKee, Jason, without the hat on, Jason, I used to do all of Jason's I used to do a lot of his golf events. And Jason does stuff for the military, for his dad was, in the military, and so he does stuff for military families, and for helping for people that might be away or people that lost a loved one. He does so many different programs for the Jason McKee Foundation. And so, yeah, he just, just really good guy. Him and his wife Stacy, they used to do so many different things. Of course, with the pandemic now, things have kind of slowed down, but they do some really big events, and so miss my old bears a lot, but
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, they were really talented. I'm waiting for them to win again, like we all.
yeah, I know. But once you love the Bears, you just love, you love your team, so you support them in whatever you do. So
That's right. So this is another definitely a hometown hero legend. You know what I mean? Shout out to Dwayne Wade. He's now of course on TNT.
oh yeah. Now Dwayne, so Dwayne, that was the first time I really met Dwayne. My friends who were mutual friends brought me in, and I actually hosted and emceed his draft party. That's right when he first got
Mm,
drafted.
that's
And
nice.
we just bonded. And one thing about Dwayne, like a lot of times when I work with athletes or other celebrities, you do their events and then it's done. Dwayne actually picked up the phone afterwards and called me, and thanked me. And I did a really nice article. I used to write for Midwest Gap magazine, and I did a really nice article about Dwayne. And I said, "Trust me, he's going to be a superstar." I'm saying it here right now, and I still have the article. I gotta look for it. But wait, was that
Right.
Midwest Gap or was it the other magazine? I wrote for two different magazines. It wasn't Midwest Gap. It was the other one. Oh my gosh, why can't I remember? But yeah, I used to do freelance writing for different magazines. But I do have I have a copy. I just have to look for it and screenshot it so I could post it. But it's like after you do so many things, you're like, wait, was it this or was it this? But Dwayne, yeah, and I started helping with Dwayne's foundation. I emceed a couple of the years for it, and I helped get a few sponsors and got some of the celebrity guests to come when he did his like 10-year anniversary, and and his sister Tregill, she just amazing. She does like everything. And it was just Dwayne's dad's birthday, I want to say yesterday. But him and his whole family just, they support him, and they all just do some wonderful events. So, big shout out to D. He definitely gives back all the time. He's just a really good guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and a tremendous, awesome basketball player. Definitely
Oh yeah.
one of the maybe top three shooting guards of all time.
Oh
He and
yeah.
Michael Jordan, Kobe, and maybe Dwayne Wade. So
Mm.
really awesome. So this is one of my guys too. When it comes to football, you just all over the place, Lisa.
Yeah,
Tell us
so Ray
some.
Lewis at that time, Ray didn't golf at all, but he came out. We're like, Ray, you're the only celebrity we will fly in. You don't have to golf. Just go in the cart and just schmooze with people because you're Ray Lewis, so you don't need to golf. But Ray actually, because I worked with Bo Jackson's foundation for God a long time. I helped Bo start with his foundation. I helped him put everything together, and then Ray actually wanted to do his own golf. Ray took up golfing, and he did his own first golf event in Florida. And I flew out there, and Ray literally had like 12 different hats on because he trusted, when Ray's one of those people, he has to trust you. I was
Yeah.
the MC. We did a golf tournament. We did a bowling party. We did a private event where he got up and spoke, and I emceed that. And by the end of the weekend, my voice was completely gone, totally gone. But we had so much fun. And then a couple years ago, 2 years ago now? It had to be about 2 years ago now. When Ray just got inducted in the Hall of Fame, he
Right.
did a whole entire weekend. So he did a weekend in Florida. We did a golf tournament. We had two parties and like 4 or 5 community events, and my artists performed at the parties and did the national anthem, and we just had a great time, and they just love Ray out there. I mean, they had so much stuff in the school and one of museums and a billboard. They just, Ray is huge out there, and he's out right by Tampa. So
Okay. Yeah. Congratulations to Ray and
yeah,
being
in
17.
Lakeland, Florida. So and
Okay.
stuff like that I love, because when you see the looks that, he did like a football camp for kids out there, and just to see the look of seeing people that look up to you and what you do, and you can make a difference in somebody's life. You just don't realize by the power of words, by the way somebody acts towards somebody, that could just put them in a whole different spot. People just don't understand the impact you have. I'll do tell one really quick story, like Shaquille O'Neal. So Shaquille's like my little big brother. And there was this little boy named Steven Newkirk that was he was in kindergarten, and it was my cousin's friend's son. He got diagnosed with a rare form of cancer called neuroblastoma, and he had to get a bone marrow transplant. And I asked Shaq if he would call him the night before his surgery. And so Shaq, sometimes Shaq would forget to do things, but this one he called right from the Lakers, right before his Lakers game. He called from wherever he was at. I want to say he was in LA at the time, and called and talked to Steven. And they said that the impact from just having Shaq, like Shaq just picked up the phone and called him to say hi and all this. They said this little boy's spirit was so high that it only took him, they gave him like 10 days recovery time. They said he recovered in like 2 days.
Wow.
And it was weird because I had a lot of the Bulls at the time, Ron Harper and Randy Brown. I had a lot of the guys sign a hat for him because he had lost his hair, from chemo. He was, 5.5, 6 years old. And this kid loved sports so much, he taught himself how to read. And I don't know if you remember back when Sammy Sosa did all of those, the home runs, and one of the very last ones he dedicated to a little boy with cancer, and it was this boy Steven.
Oh,
Steven ended up, he was in remission. He ended up getting the cancer back when he was 8, and he passed away right after
oh,
his 8th birthday. But it was just the impact of what these guys did. And you just never know, the littlest nicest gesture could be. It's like when they say one person's trash is another person's treasure. It's not quite that, but just because what might not mean anything to somebody else, this little boy, that it meant the world to him. And that just, I mean, knowing that Shaquille did that for him, you can't replace. That's priceless. And these other guys that signed and did this, that's all priceless. So that's to me, that's what everything is about. The things that you don't want to brag on. You don't have to put it on social media every time you do something like that. But when other people brag on you, it's okay. I like to brag on other people. I don't go around saying, well, I just did this for so and so. And but it's just nice to know that you have an impact on others.
absolutely. And you've been doing a great job of having an impact on others. And now I know that you're a man, and the person that you manage is a talented singer by the name of Wyte. Can you speak about his talent and why come on?
Well, and we fell into working. Oh, wait, you cut off. I'm sorry. Say the last part.
I said, I'm sorry, I was asking you, why, is he, did you choose to, manage him, out of all the talent that's out here, and you being, as talented as you are, to be able to help with all of your entertainment?
Right. Well, for years, I've had people coming to me wanting me to be a manager for them for music. And as much as I love music, that's just not something I was really interested in. So I've always said no. I just never wanted to do that. Plus, I didn't have time because I'm doing 8 million other things.
Right.
And it was kind of a combination of, well, Sean's talent and the timing. I had met Sean, and it was literally right after, about a week or so after my dad passed away, which it was just 3 years that my dad passed. And Sean was under this management company with some other people that I know, some other groups I was friends with, and they were going to do this little tour, and they were going to put public announcement was part of it. And the lady that was kind of running things for it, she was like, well, we would love for you to try and be part of the group. And I want to plan a party, a 20-year anniversary party for public announcement. I'm like, cool. So she invited me to come on the little tour. So
Okay.
Sean and I ended up driving together, because they couldn't fit everybody in the car. So I said, well, I like to drive anyway. I always love to drive. And I said, I'll drive. Cool. And so everything that was kind of promised to me didn't really come, but thank God you got plan B and plan C. So we did Arkansas and a couple places and two different places in Oklahoma. It was like a mini tour. And I knew one of the other artists that were on there, MC Brains. If you guys remember the old school, Uchi
Right.
Coochie La La La. Yeah, he's,
Yeah.
platinum artist. He was like the first platinum artist, hip hop artist in Cleveland. And so I knew all the people. And so when we were talking, I saw the way they handled stuff. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard Sean singing. I saw the impact he made on the audience. I'm like, this guy is super talented. He's really, really talented. And I kind of had a talk. I was like, I don't want to overstep my boundaries, but then, I mean, the lady that ran everything didn't even check to see if people made it home. Everything she had promised them didn't go through, and it was kind of like it kind of just stopped from there. I think she had stopped working with them. So, kind of little by little, we just started talking, and it started falling into it. I started emceeing things, and it literally fell into it. And he was like, "You're gonna be my manager." Now he's like one of my closest friends. So he's like family right now. So it's just so weird how you meet people, and you just never know. I mean, do I want to manage anybody else? No, because that's a lot with everything else I have going on, and I wouldn't want to take away from anyone else's talent. I mean, there's people that just are managers, but for me, because I do my own, I still am doing broadcasting, I still have my company, I still host and do this and this. I don't want to take away from somebody else that could get a full-time person, handling them.
Right.
So yeah, but Sean is like right there on the edge. Sean writes his own music. He's a singer, songwriter, arranger. He does all of his music. He did one song of his that he didn't write, and that was a song that Montel Jordan wrote. So he
Oh,
and that's Montel Jordan. It wasn't
right.
just, Pookie from down the street. So it was like Montel Jordan, so they've kind of already welcomed him in that celebrity arena, and he's already been kind of welcomed in the singer R&B family and all that. So it's really good. So we're looking forward to he's got a couple shows. He just opened up for Tank and for Mario a couple weeks ago at this pre-Valentine's show, and he's going to be performing at the Naperville Fest in June. And we've got a few things bubbling overseas right now, and in some other cities, but we're just slowly getting away once COVID kind of settles down, and we had to put everything on hold for that. So, but he has a new single out too. So if you guys go to his Spotify or go to anything, right? Look at you. Okay, kid, we can work together. Yeah, Kiss the Pain Away just got released yesterday. So it
Okay.
just got released on all digital outlets, and he spells, if you see, SeanWyte, and I am Sean Wyte. That's all his on all social outlet on social media. But yeah, he's really good. So if you guys take a listen, it's a really good song. Kisses, that's a big song that's getting radio play overseas as well. He's really big in the UK, Romania, Netherlands. So I'm real happy with that. So we're just pushing forward, and we kind of do a two for we get like a 2-for-1 special sometimes because I MC. So when I try and book stuff for him, and I kind of ask him like, so wait, who's hosting your show? And then people are like, wait, Lisa E, you're the radio Lisa E, you're managing an artist, and they're like, yeah, we need a host. So it's kind of cool. So sometimes he's a performer and I'm the host, so it kind of works out for both of us sometimes. So
I like that. I like that. And
yeah,
congratulations
definitely.
on his new single. Where can people find his single? How can they purchase it?
Everywhere. He's on all digital outlets: Spotify, iTunes. You could Shazam it. Apple. Was it Dweezer? Whatever. At Google Play, Apple Play, everything. Spotify, iTunes, everything. They just got released, and you can pull up his other music from his album No Labels, and then the single Kisses, and it's Body Language. That's the one that Montel Jordan wrote. And it was funny with Montel's a friend of mine, and when they did the I Love the 90s tour and came to Chicago, I actually introduced him to Sean. But I'm sure he didn't remember anything. But Voodoo Spells, who's a big producer, came to us and said, I got a song that Montel Jordan did. I think you would be perfect for it. So
Mm,
Sean did the song, and I said, you know what? I want to remain neutral because, I use my favors and things for other things, but when it comes to the music, I don't want somebody just doing it because, oh, well, Lisa's my friend. I want you to do it because you like this artist. So I never even said anything. And Voodoo sent it to Montel. Montel listened to it, was like, oh, I love it. Sean didn't even have to change it around. He's like, he loved it. And I called Montel later. I said, you know that song? That's my artist I introduced you to. And we did a show in Alabama. It was just a party. When they did like the HBU, it was the football game, and they Montel was performing, and then he came to do this after party, and we went out, and Montel was just like the special guest, but he brought Sean on stage and said, this was my song and I needed an artist to breathe life, and Sean put life into it. So
Wow.
called Body Language. Yeah. So
That's awesome. That's awesome right there. You know, how things just work out. You know, you
they
bump into
do. It's like
people.
the universe. I think, things happen for reasons, and we make it, and you've got to put in the universe, so we try and stay positive. And unfortunately there's so much negativity, and even, we all go through stuff, because Lord knows I go through my negative and my vent, my thank God for my few couple friends that you vent to, and they still are your friends after you get done. They're like, oh Lord, what do we vent to each other about now? But we
Right.
need that sometimes. So um but you still stay positive, and you protect everybody around you. And I still like doing things old school way. I still think communication's super important. And you know I think that's really big. I do a lot of consulting for a lot of people, and teaching, and I just, that's my advice to people. Definitely communicate, especially if you're going in a communication field. You got to communicate, not just with a text, not just a one-liner text. And if you're typing it, you get your words messed up, and then people have to translate your text. Like, what does she
Yeah,
just
right.
mean?
Yeah, text is
So
confusing. I rather prefer talking on the phone, not in person.
old fashioned
Now,
phone calls are great. I mean, and
yeah,
even just to check on people, that we have 9 million ways to communicate with people. And it's like people are so distant from each other now. And I mean, even if it's like, if you're good friends with somebody, and you can see them when their hair looks bad, and you call them on a video call, whatever, just to check on somebody is still good, to check on people. So
yeah,
sorry, I had to get a little
absolutely.
Pepsi in. Um,
So, before we get out of here, Lisa, you've done so many things, and it's actually a couple of more things I actually want to touch on.
okay.
Again, before I get into that, I want to again thank everybody that's being patient and still just hanging around, rocking with us today, right now. You know what I mean? Everyone that's watching, whether it's my YouTube, my Facebook, or even
Right here.
urbanbrandtv.com, I appreciate you all over there. Make sure you share this video. Again, the celebrity interview I said at the show, we're here with CEO of Lisa P Entertainment, and she's also the manager for the famous singer Sean Wyte. Um,
Right. And I
now-
thank everybody too, because, I'm trying to come out of my shell, because, I'm super quiet and I don't talk a lot. So I've been trying to come out of my shell.
well, that's
It's a
good.
joke. It's a joke. Okay.
I know
You're
you're
like,
right.
wait, is she for it? Right.
Right. You're definitely out your shell. So tell me a little bit about how you was able to just, stay grounded and stay focused during this pandemic.
It's been tough. It's been tough. It's like, I get very emotional when I see people going through things, or I've had friends that have actually lost their lives. I've had very close friends that have lost a family member due to coronavirus. And it's, I mean, in this past year, we've been dealing with several pandemics. We've been dealing with pandemics of, racism, which was a pandemic that has been going on forever, that needs to stop. And when you see these riots, and um my friend Colleen just texted me. She's like, oh, I'm watching your interview, your hair looks great. Just popped up on my screen. Hi, Colleen. But when you see things like this going on, and it just breaks your heart, because
Yeah.
there's so many good people in this world, and you have to deal with people getting sick, or people not treating each other with respect, and just saying, well, these people bring something to the table. And this, like, it's really showing you, this past year and a half has shown us how short, I mean, life is really short. We're put on this planet for a short time. Why not just embrace each other? Know that most of us are pretty much the same, and whichever, even whatever you pray to, we're all pretty much the same. And we have a few variations, and we have different opinions, but why not just like embrace embrace some of the differences, like the foods, like this, we have so much stuff to bring to this world in this short time. And it's, it definitely breaks my heart. It breaks my heart almost every day. And when I see these news stories and, you know, it's like you don't even know what to say. It's like you just hope, we hope we make our difference, being one of those voices. It reminded me a little bit of when 9/11 happened. And during 9/11, I'll never forget that day forever. I mean, that just hit everybody. And to go on the air and know that people are listening to you, and we had to try and educate people and be therapy. We got therapists on because people were going through it tough with 9/11. And it was just, I felt guilty. I came home from that, and I couldn't take the news anymore. I couldn't take everything. And I remember I turned on the TV and I was watching Three's Company, and I started laughing. It was Three's Company. And I felt guilty that I was laughing while people are dying. But we have to understand that we still have to take a break. We still have to try and find some positivity, some, not, I don't want to say humor in the situation, not the situation, but you need a break a little bit because everybody's going through it. Every age bracket, kids are going through it. I mean, parents and the older generation doesn't understand what kids are going through because these kids are stuck in the house. They're not with their peers, especially kids from uh, broken families or families that are abusive, and they're stuck. And schools, their relief and their recess, or being with kids their own age, and they're going through. And it's just people don't understand. So I just, I pray that with these vaccines and everything going on, I just pray that everybody can get back to a somewhat decent place and just learn from this and learn that we're all in this together. And the one thing about COVID is COVID doesn't discriminate against anybody. You could be a have or a have not. You can be tall, short, thin, heavy, black, white, green, yellow, orange. They don't care. If you got it, you got it. So it's, so hopefully people can take that in consideration and say, look, well, we are, I'm not better than you because, I just lost family members. So, I guess that, so yeah, it was a long answer, I know, for that question, but it's such a tough thing to talk about because everybody's
Yeah,
on so many different fences and opinions of it. So,
it's all about how you feel. You know what I mean? We all have our own experience, and unfortunately, some of the people, a lot of people, myself, has also lost people during this pandemic. So I want to send my condolences not only yourself, Lisa, and everyone out there that has lost people during this whole quarantining pandemic time that we're in, unfortunately. And we are going to get through this and just continue to work with people and just like you say, check on people. You know what I mean? Make them
check on
call.
people just to say, you never know. And just because somebody puts something on social media, and even personal, I won't go into it now. I'll probably share it on my social media later, but just some of the things, you never know what somebody's going through. And so just to say, well, just to check on them, because people aren't going to post everything on social media. I'm somewhat of an open book, but there's a few things I keep to myself, or at least don't put out there at the beginning. I mean, for my family, of course, I don't put my family's business, but there's a lot of people that just put, I'll put jokes or I'll put something cute or whatever, but people don't know. Just because you're doing that on social media doesn't mean you're okay.
Right.
So check on folks and just say, you know what, I'm just calling to say hi. And if it's your friend or whoever and they want to tell you, then they'll be like, yeah, things aren't good right now, or I'm sick. There's a lot of people that were sick that I didn't even know about, and then finally they may have said it afterwards. And I mean, this thing is just nothing, nothing to play with. So I just, yeah, my prayers and wishes for everybody, just to, as we all try and get through this. So
Yeah, because depression is very delicate. You know what I mean? It can create a very thin line between anxiety. You know what I mean? Sanity. It can really attack your most delicate spots. The brain. You need to
exactly.
stay grounded, focused, prayerful, meditate, whatever it is that you do. So, what are some things that you do,
As far as like being at home,
like
I
meditation, maybe some spiritual praying?
I
any prayer?
check on people. I've been doing some breathing things. I try and which I always I try and practice what I preach, because I'm really good at telling everybody else and giving advice, and then I don't
Right.
follow the same stuff myself. So I'm like, you know what, Lisa, you give pretty good advice. Do it yourself. Try and do what you say, practice what you preach. So I do stuff like, or I tell people to find, look in the mirror and find three positive things or something you're happy about with yourself. Doing some breathing exercises, because like I said, there's so many things going on. So just doing some breathing, trying to get any type of exercise even around your house, just to get yourself motivated a little bit. Get your, because that's another thing, people that have been going through things and have been stuck at home, if you're just laying around, whether you're well or sick, you definitely want to be careful, because when people get blood clots, when you're at home and you get a blood clot, you can't, people don't know that they're getting that. So people that have been sick, that's one thing too. If you're sick and at home, try and move around a little bit, or just get your body in circulation, even if you have to lay around and move your legs and arms while you're laying there. Just kind of circulate and do that. So I think that kind of helps, and trying to just, I've caught up on a lot of TV too, caught up on a lot of TV shows, binge watched a lot. So um but I like to try and communicate with everybody, or at least the people around me, and try and stay busy. So you know and at night when I go to sleep, definitely do not watch any harsh shows. I don't like to watch harsh news, no politics, when I go to bed. Well, especially politics before, that's my own opinion, but I don't like to watch heavy things before I go to bed. I like to watch comedy shows. I'll put on Will and Grace, The Fresh Prince, stuff like that when I go to sleep, because it clears your mind, and it doesn't, it puts you in a happier place when you go to sleep. So,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Like you say, whatever is gonna help, what I mean, to help that tomorrow. Make tomorrow
exactly.
smoother. Whatever it's gonna help you today to make tomorrow smoother. Um, Now, what is something that you're working on personally outside of, I don't know where the
Well,
out,
so I'm working on my podcast. I may need your help with the StreamYard thing too, because I was supposed to have done my podcast. I was a little under the weather for a while. I'm going to start my podcast. Is just going to be fun entertainment, interviews, stuff like that. So I'm working on that. Also, I'm going to be doing some Zoom classes. There's a lot of people that want to do broadcasting, whether it's via streaming, podcasts, YouTube, whatever the regular radio, internet radio, however they want to call it. And a lot of people don't know some of the basics. And so I'm going to have some basic 101 Zoom fun classes for people to learn proper ways to get on and off a mic. When you have sponsors also about monetizing, getting sponsors, it's going to be some fun classes. I'm going to keep it to about probably 20, 25 people for like an hour and a half session. Radio or broadcasting 101. Also proper ways to get guests, reaching out to people. Cause I see a lot of people have potential. People can talk. A lot of people have a good gift to gab, but they don't do things properly. And if they want to be credible and maybe go bigger, make a name, or, be added on like iHeart or this and this, you still want to stay within the old fashioned guidelines, because that still works. Because even now today, everybody doesn't know all of the broadcasters. Some people do, but back in the day, you can name every single person that was on the radio stations. You can name every personality, from Eddie and Jobo to, to Howard Stern, to Mancow, to this and that, Johnny B. You can
right?
name everybody. Now people can't name like five people. So you want to still be credible. So I'm going to be teaching those. I'm going to be putting that out there and teaching and helping people that want to do proper, shows and things like that. So
Absolutely. And I want to thank everyone also that I've been seeing sharing the video. Shout out to Brandon B. Smooth Cox.
oh, hey, Brenda. Yeah. And I can't see any of this. Well, because I was going to try and do it from, I didn't, charge my iPad. I mean, one thing that I do miss about being in studio at the radio stations, doing that is we have like wonderful engineers and technical people. And like I'm a technological idiot. One good thing, my artist too, he's very good with that. But a lot of people, maybe I'm just scared. I think because I just get afraid that I'm gonna come on and like the whole thing is gonna, I don't know. I'm just not good with that. But I'm learning. So with everything, I'm learning the technical, backside of everything. So
Yeah, it gets nerve wracking sometimes. You
yeah,
know what I
because
mean?
and I was like, well, we make mistakes, and people know I'm the first one to tell on myself or talk about myself, but I'm also a perfectionist. So, and being the producer, I like every detail. I like everything to go smooth. I'm like, but you're also human, and if I goof up something, I'll be like, yeah, I goofed up, or I'll be the first one to be like, yeah, my hair looks like I just stuck my hand in the toaster or something. So I mean, I have no problem saying stuff like that, but you know,
Right. And also, thank you to Tamara Knighton also for Soul. She just shared the video. Also, thank you very much.
hey, yeah,
You know what I mean? And to Gina Hills, she's CEO of Life and Entertainment out of Tennessee. So appreciate you.
awesome,
Too.
thank
Thanks for
you.
sharing the video. So yeah, Lisa, this has just been like awesome. You are just like
It is, and I
incredible.
appreciate
Like
it. I mean,
I knew that
it's
you
like
was
you have so much to say. Oh, and my other project too, which I'm really trying to finish. I've been writing a book forever. I've been trying to
okay.
write my book. It's a tell-all, but it's a tell-all with a twist. And the twist is it's not a normal tell-all where people are putting people's business out there. Mine is a tell-all of all the fun things you want to know about your favorite celebrities. So I have stories just like Shaq cleaning my stitches, he's sitting in LA, sitting on the toilet because he was so tall. I had to sit down and he's showed me how to clean my stitches with Neosporin, or me and Ralph Tresvant from New Edition singing on the elevator. We like harmonized in the elevator. And,
Right.
so I have like really fun stories. It's no who slept with who, no DUI type of stuff. It's fun. It's called Music Has No Color.
That is
And
nice.
being the white Jewish girl in this, this urban quote unquote, people don't like the name of it, but that's what it's called, the urban industry, the hip hop industry, the R&B industry. So just my experiences, and it's a fun book. It's all positive. I call it the Ellen factor. I like to be kind to one another, and Ellen's one of my favorite. I never met Ellen yet, but she's like my favorite person in the world. But Ellen DeGeneres, for those that don't know. But I always take the kind factor. I still think niceness wins. And I think when people can just laugh and be like, wow, these people, they're human, they're human. And I have fun, really fun stories about so many people. So
Right. Yeah, hey, wise man think alike. I was just thinking about that. Not a book though. I was thinking about doing like a show to talk about all my experiences with people that I've come across in my timeline.
it is. And we all have bad stuff. I've always been, I guess, even when I was little, I never got my brothers in trouble. I was never the tattler. Now, my sister used to tell on all of us, she was the oldest, but she still does. But, but that's just what she's the oldest sister. She's only a year and a half older than me. But my brothers, when they would do stuff, I would never, I don't know. I'm not a tattletale. I don't like seeing people get in trouble. So I've never been the one, and I don't like exposing things. I mean, now if it's a news story or something, it's the way you deliver it. It's how you deliver the news. I don't like to um everybody deserves a fair chance. Now, of course, if it's something, so there's one person, well, I'm not going to talk politics, but yeah, there's one person, he isn't, I'm not going to let him get a side of anything, but he's not there anymore. So I mean, he's not in place, so we don't have to talk about him at all. I don't like wasting my airtime with his name. So
Right.
um but you know
The guy with the orange hair,
you said what?
you talking about the guy with the orange hair?
That's what I used to call him, the dude with the orange hair. Yeah. But there's people, and like, I mean, I don't wish pain on anybody. I don't wish any bad pain or whatever. But my stuff is all positive. So I know some of the tell-all stuff that I could really write a tell-all book, but that's not my calling. I think people's personal lives, that's not what I'm here for. People can do their stuff, and even if they're just a messy person, I don't put their business like that. I'm not going to write a book about that. Mine is going to be a fun read, and people are going to laugh and be like, wow, they did that. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We don't have to. And some people does have things misconstrued. People feel like to get the attention they have to do things that's always controversial, but that's not true. You know what I mean? You can just be positive be real and you know what I mean, and not throw people under the bus. And, you know what I mean, just you know what I mean, all of that.
Exactly. I've never been like that type. Yeah, I've always been the neutral one, and I just don't like I'm just not that negative, person putting people's business out there like that. So
That's right. That's right. So man, Lisa, it's been a long time. It's actually been almost a year to the day because we met, it was actually March the 6th. So, you know, this today, March 18th, almost a year to the day that we made history and we honored Cliff Levinson together. And now we made history again. Man, it's been such an honor, Lisa, learning about your history and everything you've accomplished and all the people you've touched and, had a chance to work with, being, one of the number one people, Doug Banks, the late great Doug Banks, peace. And you've just been incredible. And I just want to wish you the best toward all your future endeavors, everything you're working on with your new book. I know it's going to be a bestseller because you have some incredible stories and you have a way of speaking and you do really well. And, I just want to let you know you definitely have my support right here in Asset and Management all day long. And,
thank you
I
so
look
much.
forward to possibly, us continue to network and, do some things together. So, I just
Definitely.
want to salute you. And again, be safe out there. Blessings. And I look forward to hearing, Sean's new music. And
Oh
so
yeah.
having Sean on the show.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely set that up. He'll definitely do it. We and I appreciate it, and I just wish everybody well out there, and I just want people to embrace each other, especially the women. Women embrace each other. There's enough room for all of us. There's enough fortune and fame for everybody, especially women in my broadcasting. In the broadcasting field, we don't need to compete. There's room we can all fit in and make our mark and just do you and be you. And there's only one you, that's it. So we can all, there's fame and fortune for all of us. So I just wish everyone the very best.
That's right. Well spoken. And if I may repeat, we were here again today with famous radio personality, CEO of Lisa E Entertainment. She is a super producer. I think you invented that name first. She is the manager
No,
of
well, actually,
Finkle.
so real fast, I didn't mean to cut in.
Okay.
So Rick Party gave me that name. So well, the entertainment part, Gene Sparrow used to joke around. So Gene, I produced for Gene, who's like one of my closest friends in the world. I love Gene. She's like one of I love her to death. So Gene used to tell people, I don't know what it is, but everybody gives Lisa all these celebrities. She gets their private numbers. She's like a concierge to the stars. It's a gift. Don't question it. So when I started my entertainment company, it's Lisa E Entertainment Concierge to the Stars. Then the super producer, when I produced for Rick Party, Rick just started calling me that. Rick is like Lisa E super producer, Lisa E super producer, and it just kind of hung in there. And so that hung in there. And then my little growl that I do was a joke at first, and I did my ow on the air and somebody started requesting it. Now that's like my famous growl. So I do it like every time I host events, people ask me to growl. So yeah, Rick Party gave me that, the super producer, Lisa E. So
Well, I didn't ask you the growl because I was told it's inappropriate to ask a grown woman to growl. So I wasn't gonna
no,
use
it you know what,
you wasn't
and that's another thing. Everything nowadays is inappropriate. I mean, if we really looked at every inappropriate thing, we wouldn't have any broadcaster. It would be they would just delete the whole entire broadcasting industry. Now, yes, there's things definitely people shouldn't say, but yeah. But that I don't think that was in the rule book. You could, just say your famous growl. Yeah. Now, if you said, "Hey, I need you to growl for me," no, but it's a way to do. It's all about delivery too. If you do it, it's all about the delivery. Five people can say one thing, and somebody might do it, and it's the wrong way. But people do need to be careful and take responsibility for what does come out of your mouth, because people say words can't hurt, but they can. And people definitely need to think before they say things, or, say things even in a somewhat playful manner, even if they don't mean it, because it can be very hurtful on the other end. I don't think people sometimes realize it, especially when I mean, me, I get long winded, right? Like right now, I talk and talk and talk. But I try and think before I say certain things, because, people might say things not maliciously, but it comes out that way. So, we all have a responsibility just to, be careful what you say, because your words can be very powerful.
indeed, indeed. And so, with that being said, if I may continue, super producer, manager for singer Sean White, and you have written for many, many magazines, and you are event host when it comes to music, sports, and radio events. And, and throughout entertainment over the years, over 25 years, and it's just been super incredible. You launched your company, Lisa E Entertainment, in 2005, and been going strong ever since. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I just hit my 30-year anniversary. Because it was 90. Yeah, I think it was just like a little over, it was 30 years, but I don't really tell everybody that too much anymore because, I'm only 28. So,
I know, right?
and it was, the Dwayne Wayne was Exposure Magazine. I was like, I don't know why I forgot that Exposure Magazine. I used to write them. They let me put everything in, all my articles were always in purple. So that's my favorite color. So shout out to my guys from Exposure.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Your favorite color is purple. I just, and I knew that I was just off my game. So we just gonna do it like this real.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, I like all the colors. Red is I like your red too. Red is my second favorite color. So, but I like all, I don't discriminate against
Absolutely.
any color of coordination. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Hey, so Lisa, so how I always close the show. I don't know if you been able to catch any shows because you be super busy yourself. So with that being said, I like to close the show with a few videos and just, what I mean, share people who have sent in shout outs and drops for the show, you know what I mean, because they took the time to do it. So I'll take the time to share it, you know what I'm talking
That's
about?
awesome.
Yeah. But before I do that, who is this picture of you yourself in?
Oh, that's my brother. That's my brother Craig. And we're
Okay.
actually, well, my birthday is April 5th, a couple weeks. So anybody that wants to send any gifts, that's fine. And my brother Craig, his birthday is April 6th, but we're 3 years apart. So
Okay, okay. And a friend of mine I grew up with, Andrew Price, his um birthday is April 4th. So
and my friend Rachel's is April 4th. Yeah, I'm my
4, 5,
birthday.
6.
Yeah. I'm April 5th.
Absolutely. So okay, so my first shout out that I had a chance of receiving, and this is going back a while ago, is from the legendary
I support, I said it, the board. I support, I said it, the board. I said, I support it, I said the board.
And I support the legendary board all day long.
Thank you, thank you.
I swear, Lisa, if nothing else happened after that point, I would have been completely satisfied, and I would have just able to live the rest of my life with a smile on my face, just knowing that Roy Ayers, the legend, the icon, took time to say my name. You know what I'm saying?
Now it makes you want to hear his music. Do-do-do, run, run, run. Do-do-do. Right. That's my favorite song. From Roy Ayers. Yeah.
Shout out to Roy Ayers. I love that man. You know what I mean? Appreciate him.
Right, bro. Yeah.
Yo, it's the originator Jazzo, y'all. Make this real quick, man. Shout out to Isaidit Management. Doing it big.
Appreciate you.
Shout out to the legendary Jazzo. And again, he has a new video that just came out called Marcy, which is
Mm.
his love for his housing project that he grew up in New York. And it's a super dope video.
Awesome. Yeah, I met Jazzo. Nice guy.
Yeah, Jazzo's super cool.
Hey man, what's happening? It's your boy Skrilla, man. Shout out to I Said It, the celebrity interviewer. You dig what I'm talking about, man. Sponsored by the famous Chicago Bridge magazine. Get in tune with it. You dig?
Yeah, shout out to International Skrilla, you know what I mean? Loose Smoke Entertainment. Appreciate him.
Yeah.
Salute. Salute.
Yo, what's good? This your boy Who Knows. Letting you know this Wednesday, December 16th, tune in. I'll be with the celebrity interviewer I Said It the Poet for the I Said It show, sponsored by the famous Chicago Bridge magazine. Yo, 2020 been a hectic year for everybody. I've been blessed to still reach a few accomplishments, get a little bit of acknowledgement, and we're going into 2021 hungry and heavy. And we're going to discuss all that Wednesday, December 16th on the I Said It show. HFE, baby, who working like us.
Shout out to Who Knows out there in Harvey world. Appreciate you, bro, all the time. Much respect.
Hey, yo, what up? This is Dead Wilder, music exec, music manager, entrepreneur. Shout out to the celebrity interviewer. I Said It, the show, sponsored by the famous Chicago Bridge magazine. All right, prosper.
Shout out to Dad Weiler. He's also Lisa. He's also the co-owner of Supreme Burger down there in Atlanta. So when you're in an ATL, make sure you stop by Supreme Burger.
Oh, awesome. Cool, cool.
What's happening? This your boy Cam Jones, man. Shout out to the celebrity interviewer I Said It show, sponsored by the world famous Chicago Bridge magazine. Y'all tap in. Dope content, dope interviews, and you might even see me on that song.
Absolutely. Shout out to Cam Jones and his cousin Phelps Jones. Their mother is the legendary, well, his mother's the legendary Shirley Jones, and she's going to be actually coming up on VH1 story on Unsung
Mm.
in May. She was also on the show too. So shout out to Shirley Jones and the Jones family.
When you say I said it.
Hey love, it's Shy Love giving a Shy Love salute to the celebrity interviewer I Said It, the show, sponsored by the famous Chicago Bridge magazine. Keep doing y'all thing. It's all love and Shy Love. Hugs.
Appreciate Melanie Hogan, the founder of Shy Love, right in Inglewood, Chicago. You know, just trying to really make a difference and just help the community.
What up, it's your boy Dave Tolliver from the legendary Minute Large, and right now you're checking out the celebrity interviewer I Said It, the show, baby. Yeah, it's all being brought to you by Chicago Bridge magazine. Yeah.
And last but not least, that was the legendary Dave Tolliver, singer for Men at Large. And I'm grateful that I bought his tape when I was like in 5th grade, and it's awesome to be able to interview from to get a receive an interview and a shout out. That was super dope, Lisa.
That's awesome. And we got to send a condolence. Our friend Gemini from Men at Large, just passed away a couple weeks ago. So Gemini was also part of the group Men at Large. So yeah, rest in peace, our good friend Gemini, who's a phenomenal artist. So from Chicago.
Absolutely, and rest in peace to him. I didn't get a chance to meet him, and he definitely going to be coming up soon on the show, but unfortunately, it's untimely demise.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for everyone that sending shout outs and drops. Again, if you would like to send a drop or a shout out, just inbox it to me, please, under a minute, and I promise I will continue to share it on all of my viewers if time allows. So again, thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you for hanging around with us to watch some of the shout outs. Thank you for telling your story. More importantly, you have an awesome story. You have an incredible life. You know what I mean? The entertainment and everything with the radio. You get some of the best, which makes you obviously one of the best ever. So it's been much pleasure to have you, famous Lisa E. Radio personality, CEO of Lisa E. Entertainment, on the show today. Peace to you. And again,
thank
salute.
you so much for having me too. Yes, thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that I said it too. I said it. So I'm so glad. Thank you for having me, and continued success with your show and everything else that you're going to be doing. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and blessings to you, and enjoy the rest of your day. And you already know, keep in touch.
Definitely take care. Thanks everybody, and everybody stay blessed and have a great day.
Thank you. Blessings. Be safe.
Thanks.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you again also for everyone that is still hanged around and been sharing the video and everything like that. I like to give a couple more shout outs. So I like to start by saying shout out to Urban Grind TV, and that's urbangrindtv.com. Always definitely shout out to Wally Lockhart III. You know what I mean? Much love, brother. Like you can see and reach them at 1-888-380-1913. Shout out to my brother Ron, the director. You know what I mean? He has a great movie coming out that I've been cast for. So I'm very grateful to be part of his cast. So look out for the Mad Music tour. I still got to do my drop for that, Ron. You already know. You know what I'm saying? It's coming up soon. Believe that. Shout out to my friend Mimi Mala. She's also um, the owner of peaceonthestreets.com. So definitely make sure y'all check that website out. I'm going to be doing a lot of work with her going forward. So you'll be hearing more about her, but she does insurance too. So hit her up. Shout out to my friend right here in the Chi-Town, She Bananas. You know what I'm talking about? Radio show, Kickback. So just stay tuned. Peace, Shakita. Big bro, OG Cocaine out there in LA, you know what I'm saying? Um, he got a new track out, make sure y'all follow that. My brother DMP Magazine, Dean Moulton. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dean, you know what I'm saying? He's a famous photographer, celebrity photographer from Chicago. If you ever in Chicago, this is definitely the person to holla at, you know what I'm saying? Holla at my boy, Dean, number below. Shout out to my friend Stephanie Batiste, you know what I mean? She's co-host of Soul and Blues Live TV. And that be streaming live as well. And I know y'all remember one of my past guests, Mr. Stella Python. This lady is just like, this is what a woman should want to grow up to be like. This woman is definitely the epitome of the black woman, for real, for real. I said it. And she's actually the legacy of a humble black woman. Shout out to Soulful Discussions, my friend Tina Renee, you know what I mean, host at 105.7 FM, Soulful Discussions. You can find that on every Wednesday. Man, what's up with Pieces of Elise Boswell, also Just Me Magazine. I want to send my prayers to her. You had a scene, going through a little pain, but my prayers is with you, Queen. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna call you later, check on you. Much love to you. Hope you have a full recovery and everything. And if y'all didn't know, now you know. Yeah, I said it. The show is coming to streetscienceradio.com, and it actually starts tonight. You know what I mean? So y'all definitely want to get tuned in. You know what I mean? If you didn't know, it's going to be tonight at 8 p.m. That's Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then over there in the West Coast, 6 p.m. PST. You know what I'm talking about? So check in. Definitely shout out to my brother, you know what I mean, CEO of Chicago Run Rockers, co-owner. And I'm glad to be representing the TBL, which is an professional men's expansion basketball league. And I'm going to be representing the Chicago Run Rockers as the director of media. You know what I mean? I'm more than humbled for this opportunity. Shout out to Brandon B. Smooth Cox. Blessings, bro. I'll talk to you soon. Man, the goddess of PR right here, Luxy Diamond Enterprises. You know what I'm talking about? So shout out to my friend Phoenix. Shout out to Phoenix of Skirt out there in ATL. Right here in the Chi-Town, GQ Gentleman, you know what I mean? Styles by Dave. You can find them at 7149 South State, Chicago, Illinois. I appreciate them all, always working with me, you know what I mean? Helping me and sponsoring me different accessories for my different interviews. Just because I want to do it, so I am. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Black Lord, you know what I mean? I'll never forget. Much love, brother. Rest in peace. Much love, rest in peace, big bro. I never forgot. You know what I'm saying? You passed in 1995, but you know what I mean, you still here with me all day long. I love you, Tyree. Rest in peace, brother. It's what's going down. So you definitely want to check out this show. It's gonna be coming soon. Shout out to my brother Alex Tillman. And our next interview is going to be with the CEO of Mobbed Up Records and production company. And he goes by the name of Gino. And until I get the pronunciation of his name right for sure, I'm not even going I want to say Galena. So shout out to Gino, you know what I mean? He's gonna be here March the 20th, 7:30 p.m. CST, mobupinc.com. Shout out to Gino, man. He's a good brother right here. So again, like I say, you can find me then. Again, thank you so much for everyone that has been tuned in, everyone that visited the show today. Again, I want to end the show with my two new sponsors for Isaidit Management. Again, goes by the name of Mrs. Dolores Green, and she does hair products. And you can actually see the flyer right here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll be having a whole lot of pictures. So yeah. So it's hairbossbiz.com, or you can hit her up at hairbossbiz@gmail.com. So shout out to Dolores Green. You're gonna be hearing more about her. Like I say, she'll be on my page weekly, along with my other new sponsor. Cherie Spears. So shout out to Cherie Spears, Peace Queen. You know, I look forward to us continue to just make history and everything. Make sure y'all visit her boutique. She has some super high end clothing. You know what I mean? You want to look nice, you know, have designer and all that good stuff for a great price. You know, that's the girl you need to holler at, you know what I mean? So peace to everyone. And again, thank you all for just, you know, being here, rocking with me. Much love all day. And hey, what can I say? I am grateful. I am thankful. I expect a miracle. Thank you for the miracles. Let's get it. And again, thank you to Lisa. And that's us pictured with radio personality Lady Red right here out of Chicago. Okay, I'll catch y'all next time. I'm gonna get out of here. Go give me something to eat. Go see what the weather like, you know what I'm saying? All right, see y'all Saturday. Peace, blessings. If anybody asks, you already know. I said it.